Okay, so the first thing that I saw was, so the first thing happens, I look into the energy space of your soul, and I look to see things kind of light up like Christmas lights. And things that light up like Christmas lights are, what are the weights that are kind of holding you from being the full expression of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And what is, not necessarily in the way, but just a little bit of resistance to letting what you've already set into motion creation-wise come through. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I saw that you've created for yourself. What's coming through, where are the weights, like literally the hold down weights and the
Yes.
WAITS weights, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I want to
Yes.
share with that, and then there were some things about the earlier question that you asked before we started the reading about divine help. So the first thing I want to share with you that I saw was so this at this chapter of your life, at this space that you're occupying in your reality, it is time for you to start to integrate all the parts of you and be in integrity with yourself. So there's like a piece of me over here, and there's a piece of me over here, and never the two shall meet.
Yes.
The kind of thing that I'm seeing, and so it's saying it's time to integrate yourself, even if you feel like you can't fully integrate yourself over here. You need to have a space in your life where you feel fully integrated, and you need to be saturating more of your life with those types of spaces. And you'll begin to see another thing that you're telling myself, this is a weight that's happening here, is that there's a feeling as if the universe cannot make all of this happen the way you want it where you are. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so there's a feeling like, well, there are some people over here, and there's some people over here, and there's some people over here, and they definitely aren't this, and these people definitely aren't this, and they're not this. And the universe is saying, love, all you have to do is tell me what you want and let me work that out. Tell me what you want and let me work that out. Tell me what you want. Go get busy being happy and doing what you love to do, and not worry about the how and the when.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yes.
So there's this space of just reiterating, there's this, how is this going to happen? I don't see it. And because I don't see it, there has been this weight, this hold down that says this is actually not possible over here. It's only possible when I move from here and I go over here. Right? And so what you're doing is you're weighting your life down in the present, saying what I'm asking for can't show up today.
So my focus on the present and the fact that what I'm looking for to show up isn't here today, that's what's holding me back from it showing up today.
So I'm going to kind of give you an aha here from the soul's perspective. What you're actually looking at is not the present, it's the past. Because it's based upon a past creation of yours from thought. So our realities, what we're living right here, is something you set in motion yesterday.
Certainly.
So you're actually not seeing the present, you're seeing past. And so you're actually...
You're that's okay.
So
okay.
What you're being asked to do is to be a visionary instead of historian.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So what does it look like and feel like to have everything integrated and to show up with all the spaces of you into one space?
That's happening.
Right?
That's happening.
Right?
In little pieces of my life. That's
right.
happening.
And so let's look at those and let's say yay.
Yay.
And let's saturate more of our space with that.
Yes.
And the space that you don't feel like you're fully showing up in, you want to, and you've asked for that, and you need to take your attention off of the history of it and put it on the vision. And let the universe handle, let God and Source handle all of that. Like the universe literally has the capability to say, so you might say, so me and my partner, me and my husband, I like this kind of design for the house. He likes this kind of design for the house. They're totally two different things. How are we going to mix that? And the universe says, love, you can't see it, but I know where the two mix. And if you'll just keep saying, we want to find a mix, and this is really juicy, and how juicy that's going to be, and not worry about the how and not get bogged down, I will bring the mix to you, and it will be where both of you feel like you are fully expressed in this space and you're together.
Oh, my heart is just bursting open right now.
So that's what's happening with this situation.
I can
It's
see.
it's instead of like, here's what I want, instead of saying I need to compromise, just what do I want? And saying I don't need to also shun what you want. And there's a space that the universe will find where both the twain will meet. And so that's the journey right now. That's the journey with that. So the wait is now, instead of I don't see how this is going to happen, my only focus is what do I want? And thank you for bringing this. Be in the space of gratitude for that. Thank you for bringing that. That's really what your soul is saying, because it's already done in your soul's perspective. The soul sees it. It sees the solution. It's already celebrating that. So raise your vibration to be able to see it is through the gratitude of it.
Yes.
Just saying thank you. Even though I don't see it right now, I know it's already happening.
Amen.
So that's the first piece of that, this chapter of your life. Because, so the greatness, your real genius, your real creative genius, like your real full divine expression, is going to happen when you show up as all spaces of yourself. Right? And not compartmentalize you. But every space is Regina. Every space is fully you. So that's when your genius is really going to come out, because what's happening is there's a kind of a suppression of the genius in certain spaces. Oh, I really can, I see this, or I really want to say this, or I really want to do this, but right? That's kind of what's happening here. So, okay, I'm getting an affirmation for you. And a prayer, an affirmation and a prayer. So the prayer first. Dear God, help me feel safe being fully me wherever I show up. Dear God, help me be safe, feel safe. Help me feel safe being me wherever I show up. Okay? And the affirmation that's coming through from Spirit is, my life makes way for all of me to show up and express itself, no matter who I'm with, no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I am. My life makes way for me to show up and express my full self, no matter who I'm with, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing. Because there's the creation of the history was okay, so that's lighting up. So the creation of the history I'm seeing was a thought pattern, a belief that it's not safe to be fully that. Right? So I may want to talk about this, and I don't feel safe, but there's a feeling of not feeling safe, so I am, how we create, and so I call it the law of attraction, but actually we need to find a new name. That's a whole other conversation. But
agreed.
The way we create is almost really, really literal almost to us. So if I feel unsafe, then I have to, what's going to be created from that, and what you have created from this, is circumstances that are going to affirm your feeling of not being safe.
Right.
So the second you shift, without the outside having to shift, is what they're saying here. Without your outside experience, you can shift on the inside. I feel safe no matter where I am. You don't even have to change your actions yet. This is very important.
Right.
You don't want, this is not changing your actions. This is just changing how you feel. You don't need to say anything different yet. You don't need to do anything different yet. You need to feel differently. So show up in the space saying, I feel safe being me.
Yes, that resonates.
I feel safe being me.
Yes.
And then watch. The more and more you do that every day, showing up in all your spaces, I feel safe. You don't have to say anything different. You can continue in your behavior this way. You don't need to look for the outside to change yet. But you will continue to show up like that, and before you know it, things are going to start to shift. Things you didn't have to fix. This is another thing. There was thinking that you had to fix.
That's true. That's true.
And that's not anything that you have to fix here. Okay? So that's definitely what your soul is saying here, is that the only thing they're asking you to fix is how you feel and what you're believing. Okay? And when you do that, your life will rise up to meet you, and your genius is going to come out. And you're going to be inspired instead of motivated, instead of I must. There will be an inspiration from you to say something or to do something. And you're like, absolutely. This is just the next thing. It just feels like something that just is so natural, and you're going to do it, and you're going to look back and be like, oh my God, I just did that. I just said that. And the world didn't crash down. And nobody did, because you will have energetically set the space before.
Yes.
You're going to energetically pave the way instead of physically trying to pave the way.
Gotcha.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay.
It really resonates.
Okay, so there's celebration time first. A second. You've done so much. You've done ridiculous amounts along this very path. So don't feel like you've taken major steps. So here's the thing. Instead of feeling like, but I've done work on being more authentic and integral. What is this about? So previously you were at a space in your life. This is really juicy. Previously you were at a space in your life at like a level right here. And then you did a whole bunch of work with really connecting with your spirit, really being clear on what you authentically makes you more happy on seeing, really what brings the juice out of your life, right? And so it raised it to a level like this, right?
Yes.
So your level is, you're no longer at this level of life. Like that level is gone. You're at this level. Now you're being asked to go to this level. And to live at this level, it's a deeper dive into being more authentic and integral. So instead of, I did work on this, what's happening, it's like a spiral, okay? So our lives are like literally like spirals, and they go up. They're always going up. No matter what you think is happening, you never go like that. You're always going up. And at every point, so at this point in the spiral, before you were down here, and so it was about authenticity. But you've gone up, and it wasn't about authenticity about here, it was about something else, it was about something else, about something else. But now you're hitting this point again, and it's the higher point of authenticity and integrity.
Gotcha.
Right?
That makes sense.
So it has to go higher and deeper. So that's what's going on at this level. So to live at this higher level, it's a higher level. So the Regina that can do just a little bit of authenticity to live at that level, there was just a little bit that she needed at this one. But the one you're being called to do now, you're living at, the level of life, the juiciness and deliciousness and the expansion of your life, it requires a deeper dive. And that's what's happening. Okay? So first I want to celebrate all the work you've done, and that this is an evolutionary, from your spirit's perspective of what I'm seeing. This is an evolutionary and expansion. It's not a contraction. It's definitely an expansion. Trust that the expansion is calling, and that the expansion and the step up is calling forth the people, places, and things that will help you live at that new level. You're calling a whole new tribe into you now. You're calling a whole new level of understanding and a level of being. And it's going to taste really good, but there's going to be a period where the old tribe is going to be there for a second, and there'll be slight fall away, right? It's like a snake. They're showing me that. Okay. So like snakes, they have this, you have a feeling that there's a new level, a new skin, right? But there's a period where the old skin has to fall. The snake doesn't blink its eyes and tomorrow it's in the new skin. There's some period of time where the old skin has to fall away.
Certainly.
And some of that is uncomfortable in the beginning. It's not painful, but it's uncomfortable. There'll be maybe some uncomfortable conversations because you're stepping into a higher level of your truth.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And so when you step into a higher level of your truth, those that were used to the old level of your truth may not understand it in the beginning. That's going to be okay. You cannot suppress, what's the verse here? Yes. You have to own this. You are not living or speaking your truth because they're ready to understand it or hear it. You're going to speak your truth because you're ready to say it. Not
That's
because
real.
not because they're ready to hear it, but because you're ready to say it. And there will be a space. Again, I guess this is your new phrase, where the twain shall meet. There will be a time when the twain shall meet, when your truth and those that are ready to hear the truth will come. And see, just outside of the work you're doing, you're also a master teacher. This is really clear in your space. You are here, you came here. One of your purposes for being here, you're a master teacher. And one of the things you're going to have to accept, it's going to be a continual experience, it's not going to stop, is that the more and more wisdom you gain and the more depth that you gain, you're going to be a little ahead of the curve. So you're going to be a little ahead of who's ready to hear and how people accept it. There's going to be a catch-up period that plays here. So you're going to be ready to speak it before sometimes people are ready to hear it. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So for you, it's really important to understand that there is going to be a little space of time where they're going to have to catch up. And you're going to have to be okay. But in that catch-up, they may say some things. They may do some things. There may be a space of separation for a little bit. Yeah, you're going to have to get really comfortable with the space of separation. That's not going to be a full life thing, but there are periods of time where you're going to feel like they don't get it. Okay. And life has to catch up. And life is going to bring you the people that get it, right? But there's going to be a space of time when you get something before other people get it. You're a master teacher here. Really get that. You're a master teacher here. So there's going to be a space where you're going to get insights. You're going to have evolution and wisdom that comes with evolution, where you're going to be on a leading edge a little bit, and there are only going to be a few people that get it on that edge. That's always the case. The leading edge is never crowded because the branch breaks, right? So the leading edge is never crowded, but there will be a time where you'll feel like, okay, just be okay. I get it. My soul gets it. God gets it. And that's going to have to be enough for a little bit. And then the people will show up to get it later. Okay. So a really good question to ask the unseen from your soul is, how much better can this get? How much better can it get? It's getting juicy already, but how much better can it get? And allow yourself to let it get even better than this. Even better than this. Even better than this. So they're telling me you have questions. You're really curious about. I'm just going to use the word that's coming up the other side.
Yes.
And so, if you want, so they're showing me like a bus stop, right? And so you want to catch the bus that says, I'm experiencing the other side, and I'm experiencing the more mystical and the more spiritual aspects of life, and I have a palpable experience with that, right? And so, like a bus, so if you want to catch this bus, you have to sit at the bus stop. If you want to catch this bus, you got to sit at the bus stop. So the bus stop for you more stillness and quiet, more time and stillness. You do have a meditation practice, but a little more stillness and quiet. So instead of once a day, maybe twice.
A little more consistent.
A little more consistent, definitely. Also, more question. Why do you want to play with the divine in this way? Why do you want to play with the angels? Why do you want to play with the loved ones who have gone into spirit? Why do you want to hear from them? Why do you want to hear from those divine helpers? Right? The aspects of of God that looks like that, right?
Yes, yes.
Why do you want to play with that? So get really clear on why you want to play with that. They're telling me to tell you when I started, why my gift opened was before this even happened, I knew I wanted to play. I wanted my life. I wanted this gift, and I wanted to play with people like this to help them understand who they really are and really help them understand how they create their lives and to create a more juicy life for themselves. I really wanted that more than anything. I didn't want to do the whole when's my lover coming and what do I need to put under my bed to attract more money. I didn't want to do that. I wanted really specifically to say, here's who you are as an expression of the divine of God. Mm. Here's who you are, and here's how you create, and here's where you're in the way of that. And here's where you've forgotten that. And so that's how my gift opened up, and that's what my gift really is about, working with people. So when you're thinking about this, play with it, and why do you want it? Why do you want to play like that? And then watch the signs. Okay, they're giving me this tool for you. Every day in the morning, before, after you've done your process, you've done your meditation or whatever, go outside, look around you, look into the sky. It helps if you go outside or if you look outside of a window if you can't go outside. Look around and say, I'm willing to believe, and I know, there's divine help out there that loves me, that's thinking about me, that's surrounding me, that's guiding me, that's supporting me, that appreciates me, that celebrates me. And I know you want to play in a more palpable way. I am willing to see you now, and I'm willing to see the ways in which you help me. And I'm going to look for evidence of that today. As I go to work, I'm going to look for evidence of your presence. As I play with my child, I'm going to look for evidence of your presence. As I go about my day and cook, I'm going to look for evidence of your presence. And watch what shows up today, as soon as tomorrow. Watch what shows up for you if you'll do that tomorrow morning. Watch what shows up for you in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. Do this every day. And you'll begin to hear things, you'll begin to see things, you'll be able to sense things. And your own unique gift for playing with those who are in spirit will shape itself. And you'll be able to tell your own journey story around it. But yours is more in a play. Yours is going to open up with playing more. You learn, as we all do, but you specifically learn and grow more through play than anybody I've known before. Anybody's energy I've seen before. So it's really important for you to have fun with this and to be more light. And this is actually a mantra for your life. Have more fun and be more light. That's
like a prescription to me.
That's your prescription. Yeah, I'm not to give you names. They're gonna come. I'm not to give you names. That's taking the fun out of it for you. Yeah, that was very clear. They do not
I
want
had
me
a
to give you
sneaking
names.
suspicion that was going to be the answer to that question.
You want this. You're a master teacher, and this is going to help with that. But you are also about the adventure. You really are about the adventure and like, oh my God, that unfolded like this. Mm-hmm. And so for somebody to say, here's XYZ, and here's Tom, Harry, this, and this is how you do that, that's not fun for you.
Kind of takes the punch out of it.
It takes the punch out of it for you. So while I could tell you, here's what blah, 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 I'm not to tell you names. I do know you have a delicious support system, and it's going to be really fun, and the wisdom you're going to see and the awareness of what's really going on that you're going to get is massive, and you may find yourself offering guidance to others similar to this.
Excellent.
You may. Just, yeah, I can say that. I can say that. They're letting me say that. Yeah, you may find your journey leading you to being able to offer. You already have gifts. You already can see things. You already can hear things.
Yes.
That's not something new to you.
Right.
But the ability to do it at a larger perspective.
Yes.
You'll be able to, I think you're going to step into that in some type of way. Just let the adventure take you. Let it happen with that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they're telling me now it's time to open for your questions about any of what I've shared or anything else different.
Okay. So it was mentioned that I'm a master teacher, and I have felt that for a very long time. There's nothing that jazzes me more than my opportunities to stand up in front of people, multiple people, and it can be as small as 5 or 6 or 7 to as big as my biggest audience was 167. Teaching them the things that I'm passionate about, which is relationships, the one most important being the one between head and heart, and how to live their best lives, to relating with others and just feeling better, just living a good life. Those things just jazz me. So in that, will there be those opportunities begin to manifest more? Because some have already. And I get the impression that this is just the beginning. There's a new partner in my life not a new husband, but a new working partner in my life. We've begun doing a marriage enrichment program. And it was really a lot of fun. And so we're looking for new opportunities to do that kind of thing. And I see myself standing in front of audiences, sharing and teaching.
So 2 things. You can't be a master teacher and not also have people who want your teaching.
Well, that
right?
Makes sense. That makes sense.
It doesn't happen. It's just energetically so. If you have something to teach, there must be people who must be served by your teaching, right?
True.
So that's going to happen. The other thing about this that I'm saying is one of the weights that's keeping, as we're going back to the chapter of your life again,
Mm-hmm.
the more you become in integrity with you,
Mm-hmm.
the more life is going to show up in the way that you want it to show up,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You are here to be a master teacher, so there's no way that your life cannot offer that and nourish you that way, because that's how you're mostly nourished. I'm not saying you're a master teacher as in, like, Source said, go forth and do something you don't like to do, and, do that. Source you said, I want to sign up for that master teacher part for this life, right? I got some juicy stuff. I'm going to teach some awesome stuff. I'm going to remind people who they are and how to connect with their head and their heart. And I want to have fun. And Source said, awesome. You're going to have an awesome time and people are going to flock. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But in order to have that happen, the more you step into and own the power of that, and that is me, and that's a part of me, and that is myself, and I'm going to give myself permission to express that into the world, the more people are going to show up for that.
Well, and I think my question comes from, I've been doing this work for 24 years, one-on-one. So I've been teaching one-on-one, and it's been delicious. It's a lot of it is through divine inspiration, mm-hmm. where words come for an specific individual to hear. To get that confirmation that it's going to become bigger audiences. Yeah,
well, see, the thing was, you had, again, let's go back to the beliefs and the patterns that were creating the history. Where
I was boxing myself.
Boxing it one-on-one.
Yeah.
Now the call is for a greater audience, and now the call is to believe and to accept and to affirm that there are people out there who really want to hear what I have to offer. And they'll show up and they'll pay me. That's the shift here now. You got it real good that there are individuals who want to hear and you do really good. You have that really going on. But now that thought pattern won't let you get up here. It won't let you get up here. So the now thought pattern is there are people out there who are served by me, who will show up for me, who will resonate with my message, and that will pay me. Affirm that, vision that. Again, be the visionary. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And let the Source set all that into motion. It's already done. You're just aligning yourself.
It's already
with that.
done.
It's already done. You can give thanks for it now, because that raises your vibration so that you begin to see it. So that's actually the work. Every day, say a prayer of thank you. Thank you that people are showing up for my gifts. Thank you that I'm able to share my message in places I feel really comfortable, and I'm able to share the fullness of it. Thank you for the people that are showing up and they're being really fed and they're growing, they're expanding by what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And thank you for the abundance and the prosperity that I'm experiencing because of this. And just watch how life begins to match. Affirmative prayer, aligning and allowing the alignment of your full self to show up in all spaces. Visionary more than historian.
Visionary more than historian. That's really resonating.
And ask, play, and allow the divine help to show itself to you. And that is your message. That is our time. That is your message for the evening. I am beyond honored to have been in your space. This is a really juicy one. It's fun.
Oh, I'm honored. We exchange honor here. That was phenomenal, and I really appreciate it. It really actually affirms what I was already sensing, feeling, seeing, showing up, starting to the fringes of.
I'm only here to be a soundboard so you can more clearly and loudly hear yourself. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm doing. Mm-hmm. That's all this is. I'm a soundboard so that, where you may not have been hearing yourself more clearly, you can hear it. And where you may not be yet seeing the vision that you set more clearly, you can see it. That's all.
That is cool. Am I going to get a copy of this?
Yes, well, you'll get the video.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much love, beloved.